With WrestleMania 32 this Sunday, I break down the matches that have been announced so far. This is Let's Talk WrestleMania 32 with the Geek Lounge. First up, we have the IC ladder match. Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn versus Dolph Ziggler versus Zack Ryder versus Sin Cara versus The Miz versus Stardust. This is a match that probably would have made more sense for the US title to be part of, but more on Kalisto later. And it would have benefited for the IC title to be a one-on-one with Kevin Owens defending his IC title against none other than Sami Zayn. Yes, Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn would have been the preferred match, as these two have amazing chemistry, and of course being BFFs in real life helps, as well as a great betrayal story from their NXT days. It basically wrote itself. But here we are with the IC title in another ladder match. Who's going to nab it? My prediction is in fact Sami Zayn. That way it sets up Owens versus Sami in a rematch on the next pay-per-view. Why? Because WWE probably doesn't see these two in a match together as WrestleMania quality. Next up is the Usos versus the Dudley Boys, a match that feels thrown together since these two teams have already faced each other at the Fastlane pay-per-view. Of course, this match is on the WrestleMania pre-show, so at least it won't take up any time from any other great matches already on the card. And the winner? Well, it will be the Usos, obviously. The Dudleys are back in WWE to help the younger talent, so it makes sense. It also makes sense for this match to be a tables match, but as of the filming of this, that hasn't happened yet. Next up, we have the third annual Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, another match that will probably be part of the 2-hour-long pre-show that so many people watch. Anyway, the participants haven't been announced yet, so there isn't much to say about this match, but my prediction for the winner is the Wyatt family. Yes, of course, one of the Wyatt family members will win this, and what I mean by that is either Bray or Strowman. Possibly them being the last two in the ring and Strowman just basically going over the top rope himself to let his uncle Bray win the match. Well done, Bray, you finally won one. Next we have the United States Championship match, Kalisto versus Ryback. There isn't much I can say about the Kalisto versus Ryback match. Depending on its placement on the card, it could be my bathroom break. Though it also made more sense for the US title to be defended in the ladder match, allowing Kevin Owens and Sami to have their own singles match, but that is what we're stuck with. With the Ryback hungry for success in WWE and determined to show the bosses that he can carry this company on his back if given the chance, I could see Ryback and Kalisto putting on a pretty decent match. Mind-blowing? No. Match of the night? No. Should have been a multi-man ladder match? Yes. Your winner and new United States Champion, the Ryback. If there's a match that has been overdone this year already, it is AJ Styles versus Chris Jericho. Yes, these two will be looked to face each other for the 4th time in the grandest stage of them all. I'm sure these two will put on a great match. It's just a shame that their best match was on SmackDown, which is hardly watched by anyone these days. And there's no question that AJ Styles will pick up the win to allow him his first win at his first WrestleMania. That's if Vince doesn't want to pull another "you worked for another company instead of us" like they did with Sting versus Triple H last year and let AJ lose, which I don't think will happen. Right, Vince? Moving on to the women of NXT, Charlotte versus Becky Lynch versus Sasha Banks for the Women's Championship. That's right, I'm not announcing this as a Divas match, because these female wrestlers are anything but divas. These are women. These 3 women are 3/4 of the 4 horsemen of NXT, for God's sake. Anyway, back to the point. These 3 will put on a great match. I'll go as far as saying that these 3 could possibly put on the match of the night if given enough time. I have faith in these 3, and as much as I love Becky Lynch, I would love to see her take the title, since she never got the win of the NXT title back in NXT. So who I think will win and also steal the show is the boss, Sasha Banks. This woman really is the boss of the division, and not only do I have a little schoolboy crush on her, like the little nerdy kid drooling over the most popular kid in school stereotype, but I was sold on this woman ever since she put on the best women's match I've ever seen against Bayley back at NXT TakeOver Brooklyn. Oh my god, phenomenal. She is also the only woman I see coming out the next night on Raw trashing the Divas title and bringing in the new Women's WWE Championship. Hey, a man can dream. On a side note, I'm also excited to see these women WrestleMania entrances. I suspect Sasha's will be quite like her NXT TakeOver Brooklyn entrance, but on a bigger scale. Here's hoping the old man Flair stays away, since we all know that triple threat matches are no DQ. It's time to say your prayers and eat your burritos. Yep, it's time to talk about the best team that has come out of this PG era WWE. It's the New Day. Not much to say about this match, unfortunately, from the tag teams titles are actually on the line for the first time ever at WrestleMania in a 4-on-3 handicap match. I'm sure these will put on a great match with some decent spots, but let's be honest, the League of Nations is just a bunch of guys put together because creative had nothing else to do for them. On a side note, this may be Barrett's last WrestleMania, as rumours has it that he is leaving the company later this year. Therefore, your winners and still your tag team champions, The New Day. Stay booty. Next up, we have Shane McMahon versus The Undertaker inside a Hell in a Cell. With the company on the line, Shane McMahon will do battle with The Undertaker, aka Vince's bitch, as he likes to put it, inside Hell in a Cell. Of course, if The Undertaker loses, then Vince has added that the stipulation that Taker will never wrestle at WrestleMania ever again. This match hasn't been the best build up, with Vince being the only man to show up each and every week to keep his story alive, since Shane is probably out working on his martial arts and hopefully his promo skills, and Taker being off because Vince has probably told him to, since, you know, he's Vince's bitch. However, saying that, I don't know who the winner of this match is going to be. Taker has been advertised for live events after WrestleMania, and it's possible Shane was only brought in due to the long line of injured superstars and Taker no longer having anyone to face. Good riddance, Cena. On the flip side, Shane would be back in his father's business for the foreseeable future, causing an actual power struggle backstage. With that said, I think the winner will be Shane McMahon. The build-up so far has all been about Shane being a quitter and a loser, and with the authority being going for a good few years now, unfortunately, things are in need of a change. Shane wants to usher in a new era where there are new faces of the WWE, and you just can't tease that sort of thing and take it away from us. Right, Vince? Saying that, Shane could still lose, and the next night on Raw, Vince feels sorry for his son and gives him SmackDown instead, leading to a new, updated brand which has been the B show for a while now, and give it a much needed makeover. Next up, we have probably the most brutal match of the evening, Dean Ambrose versus Brock Lesnar. If you know Dean Ambrose's previous work before joining WWE, then you'll know this match has the opportunity to be brutal, and I mean absolutely brutal, like a bloody mess, but not in a bad way. Yes, the Lunatic Fringe goes against the beast incarnate Brock Lesnar in a street fight. My only worry about this match is that WWE don't allow these guys to go as far as they want, possibly causing them to hold back on some of the craziness that these two could be doing to each other. Yes, and I mean crazy. However, this match should be great nonetheless. With the two completely different styles, I see this match going down like Brock Lesnar versus CM Punk at SummerSlam a few years back, but here's hoping it goes that little bit further, since, you know, it's WrestleMania. Saying that, the Lunatic Fringe won't be enough to match the beast, and therefore your winner, Brock Lesnar, because that's just how WWE book Dean Ambrose. But that won't hinder the success Dean has become, and really he should have been in the main event for the WWE title, but that's another story for another day. And finally, we have the WWE Championship match, Triple H versus Roman Reigns. Yep, it's the main event no one wants to see, but the main event we're getting anyway. No matter how much we've booed Reigns and how much WWE creative have tried, Roman Reigns will just never get over. Your main event of the biggest show of the year in professional wrestling, and your supposed babyface will be deafened by a stadium of boos. While the leader of the Authority, a team that has been done to death for a while now, will be cheered every time he brutally attacks Reigns or points to his crotch. There isn't much more to say about this match, so I believe that the crowd will just hijack it and be more entertainment than the match itself. Therefore, your winner, Triple H. That's right, the King of Kings will retain his title at WrestleMania. Why? Because no one, not even Vince McMahon himself, could watch his biggest show of the year go out with Roman Reigns crowned your new champion with a furious crowd in the background. No amount of fireworks would drown out those boos. Sorry Reigns, but not really. And that's the end of the Let's Talk WrestleMania 32 with the Geek Lounge. What matches are you looking forward to? Who do you think will win or lose? Leave your comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more from the Geek Lounge.